Well, the future of Parler now rests in the hands of a federal judge in Seattle. The judge saying she will make a decision as quickly as possible on whether or not to allow Parler back online after Amazon cut the link that allows the social media app, popular among conservatives, to work. Jason Rantz is host of the Jason Rantz Show on KTTH Radio in Seattle. Are you making any predictions, Jason, about how this judge might rule?
I mean, it's a Seattle judge, so it can go in any direction imaginable. So no predictions. It's hard to tell. I mean, you got to look at what the actual terms of the contract say and whether or not they're being equally applied all across the board. And very clearly, they're not being applied equally across the board. So the question for this judge is going to be, does that matter in this individual case? Will Amazon be able to make the case that the threats that were supposedly found on Parler were so egregious, more so than on Twitter or Facebook and others? Can she justify just saying, we're taking it down?
Of course, the behemoth that is Amazon is run by one of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos, so I don't suppose he's too concerned with any blowback that he might personally get from delisting Parler, if you will. Kim Strassel has an interesting op-ed in the New York Times, in the Wall Street Journal. I wanted to read it to you. It's headlined, "Big Business's Sharp Left Turn and Corporations' New Political Role Carries Serious Political and Legal Consequences." She goes on to write, "How long before an online processor refuses to facilitate the credit card transaction of any American with a Parler account, or an online provider announces it will no longer transmit emails that question climate change? When does Apple start scouring and shutting down iMessages that fit its definition of insurrectionist talk? Corporate America stepped up as a political enforcer this week. Serious legal and political consequences come with that role." She has some interesting points there.
She does, and I think it's a reasonable concern. If these companies are going to benefit from protections that are offered by the government, then I do think it's reasonable for the people to want some semblance of content neutrality as it relates to speech that is going to be permitted. If you're going to essentially get into these areas where you're going to start censoring, okay, well, then you're raising the concerns that people have on Section 230 or antitrust laws, monopolies. And very clearly, when we're talking about companies like Amazon and Google and Apple, very clearly, we're already leaning into folks frankly, on both sides of the aisle who have been saying they might have a little bit too much power, and we're allowing them to get away with it.
Jason Rantz from KTTH Radio. Jason, thank you.